One can acquire everything in solitude except character. A very small degree of hope is sufficient to cause the birth of love. A wise woman never yields by appointment. It should always be an unforeseen happiness. I say each man for himself in that desert of egoism which is called life. I think no woman I have had ever gave me so sweet a moment or at so light a price as the moment I owe to a newly heard musical phrase. Indeed, man has two different beings inside him. One wonders what devil thought of that malicious touch. What is really beautiful must always be true. Love is a beautiful flower, but we must be brave enough to pick her up from the edge of the precipice. It is simply not enough for a landscape to be interesting in itself. Eventually, there must be a moral and historic interest. A novel is a mirror which passes over a highway. Sometimes it reflects to your eyes the blue of the skies, at others, the churned-up mud of the road. As for faith, I am no such fool. Everyone for himself in this desert of selfishness which is called life. After a moral poisoning, one requires physical remedies and a good bottle of champagne. Wit, it lasts no more than 2 centuries. But if I sample this pleasure so prudently and circumspectly, it will no longer be a pleasure. What, after all, is the use of a love that makes one yawn? One might as well take to religion. It is from cowardice and not from want of enlightenment that we do not read in our own hearts. Because one has little fear of shocking vanity in Italy, people tend to adopt an intimate tone very quickly and discuss personal things at ease. I'm afraid a 40-year-old woman is only something to men who have loved her in her youth. The only excuse for God is that he does not exist. When a man leaves his mistress, he runs the risk of being betrayed 2 or 3 times daily. The great majority of men, especially in France, both desire and possess a fashionable woman, much in the way one might own a fine horse as a luxury befitting a young man. Life is very short, and it ought not to be spent crawling at the feet of miserable scoundrels. The shepherd always tries to persuade the sheep that their interests and his are the same. Beauty is nothing other than the promise of happiness. Love is that well from which we can drink only as much as we have put in, and the stars that shine from it are only our eyes looking in. All religions are founded on the fear of the many and the cleverness of the few. What is your favorite quote? Please let us know in the comments below.